This plant, it's really good. You should get it. Hey, Lee here helping you become a better plant parent, and this is the Monstera Peru, or the Green Galaxy Monstera. The Monstera Peru is quickly gaining popularity, especially as it's being mass-produced by Costa farms as the Green Galaxy Monstera. The main highlight of this plant is its thick, textured leaves and its easy care. If you can take care of the Monstera deliciosa or the Monstera adansonii, this plant should be no trouble for you as long as you understand a few of its key differences. Lighting is similar to most other Monsteras, and you'll want it somewhere between medium to bright indirect light. If I were to rank how much light this plant can handle, I would put it somewhere in between the Monstera adansonii and the Monstera deliciosa. It can handle some portions of direct light from a south-facing window, but overexposure to sun will make the leaves burn. It starts off as bleaching of the leaves, and then eventually they will start to turn black. Like all plants you bring into your home, you'll want to acclimatize this too. Start off in medium to low light and then slowly move it into a brighter spot. Make sure you monitor the leaves to see if there are any changes until you find its sweet spot. Like most other Monsteras, this houseplant does love humidity, but again, like most other Monsteras, it's really great at adapting to whatever kinds of humidity you actually have in your home. And because this Monstera is relatively slow growing, especially when compared to the Monstera adansonii, you do really need to be careful about fertilizing this plant. Throughout this growing season, I've fertilized my plant at about 3/4 of strength, and I'm gonna probably keep it at that until I'm a little more comfortable with how much fertilizer the plant can handle, or at least until it gets a little bit bigger. When you're watering this plant, because the leaves are a little bit thicker than most other Monsteras, you can get away with less frequent watering. You absolutely don't want the soil to dry out completely, but this does stand up to a little bit of neglect. And because the vine is so slow growing, you do need to monitor how long it takes to dry out between watering. Your mileage may vary depending on how much light it's getting and if you're in a plastic pot or in terracotta. I've been watering mine about every 10 days in the growing season, but as the roots continue to grow and fill out this pot, I do suspect that I'll be watering it a little bit more frequently. And just like most other Monsteras, this does really appreciate a well-draining soil. The type of soil mix that mine is currently sitting in has leca, horticultural charcoal, perlite, coco coir, orchid bark, and potting soil. But if you do want to check out a video on how I mix my soil for Monsteras and philodendron, you can look down in the description below. The growth pattern on this plant is perfect for me because I do love hanging and vining plants, but I also love to experiment with having them grow up poles to see how big their leaves can actually get. Right now mine's growing up this cedar plank, and soon I'll be able to propagate it to make a much fuller pot. You could leave this as a hanging plant, which will result in it getting smaller and smaller leaves, or if you're looking to get larger leaves, you can have it growing up a moss pole or a stake. Usually the signature sign of a Monstera is its fenestrated leaves. I love to watch mine grow, change, and mature, and every leaf is unique. Unfortunately, this plant does not have fenestrations and it does not change its look over time. So really you're getting this plant if you love the texture of the leaves. So if you love textured leaves and you want something subtle and easy to care for, then this plant is for you. If you'd like to learn more about Monsteras, you can check out any of these videos in my playlist. Like the video if it was helpful and consider subscribing. I'll see you next time.